Who knows what I'm doing with that thing?
Hey, folks, welcome. Welcome to the show. It's Guitar Hack. I got the great fortune tonight of having Dave from Dave's Guitar Channel on. Dave, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. The great fortune. Careful what you wish for, right?
What? I tell you, you're one of those guys. You're one
What's
of those
that?
guys. Like you're like my. Like, you know what I spent the afternoon? You'll understand this. You know what I spent the afternoon doing today? Right? I'm
You
having
froze.
a couple of cigars and tequila with my buddy, and you would have fit right in, man. Because you like, I think you're the type of guy that I'd hang out with if you were like local. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You're just one of those guys. You know what I mean? Character. I love.
For sure. Is that me or is that your connection?
What's going on?
I'm having like a connection issue here. Hold on. Let me see.
Oh, you were blurry. Now you're.
But clear. I'm moving around. It's you. That's all. Am I?
You're clear. You're going like blurry to clear, blurry to clear.
I'm clear.
Yeah. You know what? Let me ask the chat because we got some people in here. So let me.
All right. Let's try it again.
Some of the people that have walked in here. We got Ed Dana. Ed Dana, welcome, buddy. James Severin, how are you? Charlie S, nice to see you. Oh, hang on. I always do this. All right. Okay, Dave, we got to do something. I do this every show. Quentin
what
James
happened?
Is on. So on the count of three, you and I have to yell Quentin. It's a thing. Are you good with that?
We good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. So on the count of three, can you say Quentin real loud? Ready?
Now I can't hear you. No. Say it again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. On the count of three, you and I are going to yell Quentin. Ready? Quentin.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Quentin. Okay. It's a thing.
All right.
Yeah, it's just a guy that's on. What he'll do is he'll cut this and he'll post a video later.
So all right, very good.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, it was okay. It was hard because it was we were getting some disturbance. Like I was having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's clear now. Now it looks sharp and good.
Okay, cool. So we're back on. All right.
All right.
Let me just finish saying hello to people. Gary Holt is here. James Severin, Charlie S. Welcome. Quentin again. Brian Stewart. Hey, man. Stafford's Music Studio. Oh, Brian Stewart is saying you both look and sound fine to me. So I think we're both okay.
All right, giddy up.
Okay, appreciate it. Wow, we got 27 people in here already. So that means a whole whack of other people walked in. So, wow. Todd Gruff, welcome. Lars Guitar, welcome. Mitch Heyman, hey man. Lefty Mike. Ron Limber, Chuck Booth, how are you? Dennis Bro, how's it going? LR Music, hey mate. Yeah, nice to see you again too, man. Mark Wade, time has been kind. Welcome. Dry Heat, hey buddy. Jeff Underwood, Scott Nickerson. Mitch Heyman, Guitar Hack, Dave, if fine, but your audio is a little. So they're saying your audio is a little low, Dave.
All right. How am I doing now?
There you go. There you go.
You're listening to all the hits all the time.
All the hits all the time. Rick Hefner is here. Hey man. So Dave,
yeah,
I found your channel on my feed about a year ago maybe.
Oh, that long?
You were still doing it. Looked like you were in a bedroom.
Yeah, I was in my bedroom.
Yeah.
In my underwear.
What's that?
I was in my underwear. Just doing.
I hope not. But anyway.
See, it's breaking up again now. I wonder if this is me or you.
I don't know, man. I'm still looking clear. I'm not shaky at all on this side.
I don't know what the heck's going on. You there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here. I can see you fine. And I can hear you fine. So yeah, I caught you on the stream about a year ago, and you used to put in all these clips of like old TV shows and things.
Oh yeah.
And you put in like an HR Puff and stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, I haven't seen that.
Hilarious.
Like 5 years old or something. I'm like, wow. Okay, the guy's definitely my age.
Yeah.
He's putting up HR Puffin stuff. So that was pretty cool.
But HR Puffin stuff was actually because I have an older brother and sister. It was before, a little bit before me.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, I think we're the same age. I don't know. I within a year or two for sure.
How old are you?
50.
Okay, I'm older than you by 2 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make more sense because Puffin stuff for me, I was real little. And Lidsville and all that stuff.
Right.
Do you remember Lidsville with Charles Nelson Riley?
I remember Charles Nelson Riley. I don't remember Lidsville, but I remember Charles Nelson Riley.
It was Lidsville. That was his show. And then you're not having the connection that I'm having here?
No, man. I'm fine on this end.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna I'll hang until
I haven't heard anybody in the chat mentioning anything about a bad connection. So I don't know what what's happening on your end, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably me.
So anyway, what was cool is like, you know, this whole community, we've got a lot of you know, the people in the chat here. We got 30 people watching, by the way, which is awesome.
Nice.
You know, we got a lot of variety of you know, experience playing. You know, we got bedroom players, we got home players, we got weekend warriors like myself, like the bar band guys and all that. But you obviously this is what you do, right?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool to hear, like, you know, the stuff that your perspective and some of the stories. And I also watch your guitar talks with John as well.
Sure.
Which are kind of cool. So with that in mind, like, I've only heard like bits and pieces, you know, whatever you've mentioned. I mean, from what I've heard, you mentioning you spent some time in LA. You were
20 years
in the studio. You were a studio guy. You had an original band. So yeah, would you mind like kind of filling us in and how, like, where, you know, what you were back then?
Yeah, I went out to LA in '95 and I played in like a local band in like '96. By then I was just working waiting tables and I played in this band, and then I was like, you know what, it's not really happening. And I auditioned a couple of different people to try to start a band, and that wasn't happening. And I just became like a gym rat. I was at Gold's in Venice. I worked there. And I met the Barbarian Brothers. And do you know who they are? They're like the two, David Paul and Peter Paul. Great guys, but out of their minds. Literally insane, which I love them. David's now in Rhode Island. I see him every now and then. I talk to him a lot more than I see him. Yeah. But they were working on this children's project, and they brought me into the studio to produce a song and play guitar on it. Well, actually, sorry, before that, I ended up getting, I was teaching, and I ended up getting a gig playing for John Taylor from Duran Duran. And then I got into the studio, and Michael Cimbello and Danny Cimbello owned this studio in Venice.
Right.
And from that point on, it snowballed. I just started getting work from just right away, like just doing sessions. And I met a guy named Lee Carreri, who was a producer. He was in the movie Fame. He played Bruno in Fame. And Lee would keep hiring me, and we became very good friends. And
oh, wait a minute. I know Bruno from Fame. The TV series.
Yeah. He was in the movie as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Lee Carreri. And Lee and I were still friends, and we still talk. And he was great. He hired me a lot, and we did a lot of stuff together. And I could tell you stories for our days with him. We had a lot of fun. He's a great guy. And a cigar smoker.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. We'd be lighting up at 3 a.m. after a session.
Oh, that's ideal, man. That's how you come down.
Yeah. And it doesn't get cold there. So it's only like, 65, 70 at night. You sit outside in a chair and.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
So then I started a band, and like by 2000, I had a band called The Big Angry. And we were playing all around LA. We used to play the Whiskey. We played the Troubadour. We came out to New York. We played CBGB's. And we played everywhere. We were talking. We had management. We were talking with Warner Brothers. It never took off, and we ended up replacing the drummer. And Nick Menza from Megadeth became our drummer.
Oh wow!
And he was our drummer for like 2 years. And then the band kind of slowed down a little bit, and we didn't really.
What kind of music was that, Dave? What were you?
It's kind of like metal. It was a little sludgy. It was, but it was metal. I mean, hard rock, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It was melodic, so I can't say that it was metal, you know, like by today's standard.
Right.
But it was melodic still. And then, and we did a film. We did music for a film. We ended up bringing in Ray Luzier, who's now in Korn, to play drums with us, and he played on the film soundtrack that we did, which was for a movie called Bigger, Stronger, Faster. And I did a bunch of musical cues for that as well. That was a friend of mine who used to write for the WWE. In fact, this is back when around 2000, John Cena and his brother Matt came out to Gold's Gym, and they were I used to work out with Matt, and John worked. That did that movie brought him into the WWE, and that's how John got in. Yeah, so interesting stuff. But
cool.
Yeah, so that was kind of it. And then I just I know in 2006 finished doing a record. I did a record with like all these unbelievable musicians. We did a country record, and it was Vinnie Colaiuta on drums, Matt Rawlings on piano. It was just all these like great musicians. And right when I finished, a friend of mine was like, you should come over here and work with me in the store. You know, at least for a couple of months, we need the help. So I was like, all right. And 2 months into it, they're like, we want you to manage. And then by the end of that year, they wanted me to manage the whole store.
What store was this? I think you dropped out there for a second. So what store was that you were working at?
That's West LA Music.
Okay.
And that was on Santa Monica Boulevard over by Corinth and Santa Monica, just really right across the street from the Village Recorder. And yeah, so it was cool. And we ran that. And within the first year, John came in the store, and I hired John as the guitar manager when I was the store manager. And that's how John and I met.
Right.
Yeah. And then we both were there till about 2010. John left to go work for Qdoba, and then I went to go work at a place called Alva's Music, where I managed and basically like a store, and it was nice. And then, but yeah, I came back here about 2013, 14.
Oh, okay.
Well, in 2013, I was coming back and forth because of my dad, my mom, and then.
Right. So now what? Now I mean, from what I gather, you're teaching lessons. You're doing a lot of gigs. I know you're in a.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I play like at least twice a week. Sometimes 3 times a week, every Thursday, and then one either Friday or Saturday or both. And then I teach during the week. And that's why I was like, I'm going to stop putting videos up, because I want to make it back out there. And I was like, I should keep my connections. And I figured that making videos would be a good way to let people know, hey, I'm still here.
Right.
And that's kind of how it started. And I had a couple of students that I was FaceTiming that are still in LA. And I was like, a couple of times they were like, hey, can you show it? And I'm like, you know what, let me just play. You know, that would have been like a waste of time for me and them. So I was like, maybe if I just post it, they can go just watch it.
Right.
And that's kind of like, and then I kind of got into wanting to talk about certain things that I thought, like people don't know much about guitar strings. And so that was like one of my first episodes, was telling people about like acoustic guitar strings. And
when did you start your channel?
April, I think, of 2017.
Okay. So almost a couple of years.
Yeah, it'll be 2 years. It'll be 2 years, April.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I started, it wasn't like I was starting it like going, I slowed it. I was making a video when I felt like it, still like I would do it now anyways. But You know, I was like making videos when I wanted, but I was trying to do stuff like, it was more like an answer to watching people's videos. And I'm like, this is nonsense. I'm like, I got to post a video because this is complete nonsense. And when people start talking about woods on guitars and stuff like that, I just get all like, I get people get so involved in the minutia and the points that they want to argue, and they feel like where they made a point, it's like, so, you know, it's like, come on, it doesn't matter, you know. And it's like, I come from the school of like, when I was a kid, for me, I would watch somebody play and I'm like I remember when Yngwie came out and I'm like, how does he know where to go?
Right.
Like, what is he doing? And so I wanted to learn everything with theory. And I used to bug everybody. My high school teacher, I was like, and he wouldn't tell me. So I was like, I used to skip school and take the train into Berkeley and get Berkeley books. And then I kind of figured out this whole system where I'm like, oh my God, I can number everything. And so now I'm thinking I'm big shit. Like I've come up with this great system in my head. I go out to LA and somebody puts a number chart in front of me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? They're like, it's a Nashville chart. I'm like, I made this up. They're like, no, it's been around since the 50s.
No, I invented this.
I'm like, oh God. Well, I thought I made it up.
Yeah. That's funny. So
what happened with that? Yeah.
So like your basic, so you saying that
Am I here still?
Pretty much?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
Wow.
Yes, but I'm self-taught to the point where like I've taken lessons along the way from certain, if I saw someone that play and I liked what they did and I liked their perspective, I want to get inside their head. So I'll take lessons. But yeah, for the most part, I am 100% self-taught. Like I taught myself everything that I needed to, you know, and I do a whole video about it because I don't think it's something that people should be proud of, because when you're self-taught, there's the point of, you know, if you want to go get surgery, and I got a surgeon here that went to John Hopkins, and I got a guy over here that's self-taught. You're going to be like, yeah, get that guy who's self-taught.
Oh, we lost you. We lost you. Okay, we just lost you for a minute there. Are you back? Can you hear me?
Sorry, now you're back.
Okay, yeah, I know you disappeared for a minute, but can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, good. Okay, so anyway, cool. So you don't know what you don't know, and there's a great video with Jeff Berlin, and Jeff Berlin talks about people that take lessons, and he's like, you know, you don't know why you need to go to schooling. And so, I mean, I don't know, maybe all that, but you definitely should challenge yourself and to play things that you know, for me, like when I hear a song, I could call off the chords to you without, you know, I could sit and chart it and write it while I'm listening to it for the most part.
Right.
I've worked with guys who do it 100 times better than me. I've worked with like Matt Rawlings can do it like while you're playing and he's not even looking. He's just like writing and he's getting every extension, every nuanced note he's getting. So I'm not saying but I can do that. But the thing is, it's like, and then I have people telling me, oh, well, that maple's going to be a little, you get the hell away from it. You know what I mean? Like, can we talk about music? Like, to me, it's like, let's talk music and not talk about the silliness of what you think maple's going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. A 500 to a 300 watt potentiometer has more effect on the guitar than what wood your neck is made out of.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing an acoustic guitar, and that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But where, you know.
See, where I kind of come.
But anyways, I don't mean to cause a stir up on your.
No, it's all right. No, where I kind of come at it is from a scientific perspective, right? Because I teach electrical theory.
Oh, okay.
So I know how electromagnetism works, right?
Oh, exactly.
And so I understand, you know, like disturbing a magnetic field and inducing voltages and all that kind of crap. So I come at it from that perspective. So what, you know, I call it marketing.
Right. Well, the other perspective is then all you need to know is what is the physics of a vibrating string?
Well, yeah, that's where I'm coming from. It from
And
a
once you
science-
no, but you're talking about the electrical part. I'm talking about if you look at the physics of a vibrating string, there
yeah.
is no.
Well, now we lost you completely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Dave, you're blacking
Are
out.
we still here?
Dave, you're blacking out.
All right. How about now? Can you hear me?
Now you're back. Okay.
Okay. When in the physics of a vibrating string, there is no variable for an outside source. Do you know what I'm? So in other words, the string is going to vibrate by the material, the scale length, and the tension
And the mass
that is on the. So once you understand that there's no outside source in the variance of the variable of the vibrating string, then your line of with the magnetic fields then come into play, and you're realizing you're reading something that can't be changed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, like at the end, so it's the electromagnet that's being disturbed by that vibration,
Right.
right? And it's that vibration that's basically imprinting itself onto that magnetic field and inducing a voltage, which is your signal path to your amplifier, which is then stepping up that signal and pushing a speaker. At the end of the
Right.
day, that's what it is. So, so really, what is important from a scientific perspective, I mean, you've got basically what you're describing, that's your input. What I'm talking about is a transducer, and the transducer is your pickup.
Yes.
And really, at the end of the day, it's your pickup. Well, how sensitive is it? How much output are you going to get for what's coming into it? You know, how sensitive, how much is it going to react, basically? And
Well, that's
all
all
gonna-
based on inductance, capacitance, and
yeah,
resistance.
exactly. And you were talking about the pod as well, right?
Yes.
Like it's
Well, yeah, that would be added resistance.
That's a circuit, right?
Yes.
And you're talking about filtering some of those frequencies.
Yeah,
right?
I'm talking about what matters
Yeah.
in the electric guitar, which is the electronics.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about an RC network with an inductor, right? So, anyways, but so what I'm getting at is a lot of time you know, like it's usually, sellers, or a store that's trying to sell something, and they're going on and on about this and that and the other thing. And I call it, it's marketing, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not a guy with a science background sitting there, writing this copy out. It's some marketing guy telling you that they've reinvented bread, and this is the best bread in the world. At the end of the day, it's a lot of BS.
Oh, no, it's all BS. I don't think that they do it, but I don't think they're doing it from a perspective of being evil.
No, they want to sell.
Or as much as they understand how an acoustic guitar works, they just assume the electric guitar has the same properties, and it doesn't, because the electric guitar does not make sound from forced resonance, whereas an acoustic guitar, that's where the audio comes from, forced resonance. On an electric guitar, it's basically the magnetic vibration. It doesn't get to the forced resonance part, and the resonance that happens after doesn't affect anything. And if you think it affects something, then you can go listen to any record and then tell me what they're playing and know everything. And I guarantee there isn't a person that's going to take that bet and win. You can't. I mean, you listen to a song like David Gilmour on Another Brick in the Wall.
Right.
Everyone thinks that's a Strat. It's a 56 Les Paul.
You're talking the rhythm or the lead?
The lead.
Oh, okay.
56 Les Paul. It's a single coil pickup. That's what it sounds like. You know what I mean? What are you going to, you know what I mean? It's people start to split hairs. You know what it really sounds like at the end of the day? David Gilmour.
Yeah.
That's the person playing it. That's like when I always get a kick when people say, like, how can I sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan? Exhume him, take out his skin, and wear his skin like Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs.
So it's not good.
No, I'm just saying, you can't.
No, I hear you. I just wanted to say hello to a few more people that popped in, and I missed a whole whack of questions.
Oh, okay.
Because there are questions. If somebody has a question for for Dave or myself, probably the easiest thing would be to tag me at Guitar Hack, and then I can go from there. Mark Dillon is here. If I haven't said hello, hello. Ivan Carter is here. Dennis Bro, so I believe you said you hate it when a guitar player uses the same tone all night for all songs. I agree. Any tips for matching tones to the song? I got to learn a lot of songs for a cover band. Well, this is something that I talk about a lot, Dave.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you come across this too, where you go see a cover band and the guy dials up his 80 metals tone and he plays every song with an 80s metal tone. And you're like,
I'm very well aware of it.
what the hell is that, buddy? Like,
It's hilarious.
you know, like,
Well, you know what happens when and then you ask the person, you say, why did you choose that tone? I'm trying to be creative. I'm trying to work my own thing into it. Yeah, no one cares about you.
Yeah,
They're just there to have a good time and hear songs. Can you play it like they want to hear it?
Right. And what I usually say is you're not going to get it bang on. I mean, it's just not going to happen. But
the trick, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so what you do is you try to make a rough approximation, right? If it's a clean song, don't put dirt in it. If it's a dirty song, how much dirt does it have? You know, like I've got 3 dirt pedals on my board. I've got a lighter, a heavier, and a really heavy, so like, you just got to kind of approximate it the best you can is really all I can say. Guitar wise, the guitar you use, I don't think a lot of people are really going to care if it's a single coil song and you're playing a humbucker or vice versa. As long as you somewhat approach the tone, I think you'll be okay. What are you going to say, Dave?
So, the point is, if you've ever watched my channel, I open up every episode with a song and I'm playing it and people always message me and they're like, oh, that sounds just like it. Not really. I'm just guessing like what they probably used. And I use Fender Fuse and this modeling amp. So I can pretty much go, record sounds like a Marshall and it's a little bit gainy. So he's probably got a pedal in front of it. So I'm going to put a simulated pedal in front of it. But at the end of the day, the thing is, I play it as close to the record as I can with the nuances that are in the playing on the record, and your ears fill in the rest. Once you hear me play close to the record, you're like, oh, that sounds just like it, because your ear fills in the rest. And that's all I suggest is just get the playing as close as you can to the playing that's going on, and then get the tone, in the ballpark. It doesn't have to be exact in the ballpark. It can be in another ballpark. But
I mean, unless you're going to carry around like 5 different guitars and amps, you're just going to do the best you can, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, I bring out a lot of pedals, and you can use like a modeling amp. You could take out like a Line 6 Flex Tone or whatever the new amp that they make is, or a Helix. Just get it close.
Brian Stewart is asking you, Dave, are those Devo helmets on those Marshalls?
It is. It's the red one from Freedom of Choice and the blue one from the latest album. I went to that tour at the Rio in Vegas. It was actually serendipitous. I was just in Vegas with my brother and we saw that Devo was playing. So I was like, oh, we're going.
Okay. Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
I believe they're the energy domes. I've had people, I called them in one of my videos the flower pot hats because that's what they look like. And this guy went off on me that they're energy domes and I must not be a real fan. I was like, well, let me excommunicate me from the Devo fandom.
Dennis Bro again is asking a question. People in the chat, do you wear your guitar high or low or somewhere in between? What's better for your wrist? I usually wear my guitar just a little below my waist. I generally don't want to. I don't want my forearm to be bent. I want my arm to be kind of down, just a little bent on the arm. That's just where it's comfortable for me. I've seen guys like I can't do this. I couldn't do this to save my life. My arm's got to be down. So, but I don't know if that's
I used to be a high wearer, and now I'm on the higher side still, but not not as high as I used to be. And I basically do it because if I'm playing anything with quick lines, I want to be able to play it and not have my hand in this position. I'd rather have it in this position.
Right.
But especially if you're playing any type of thing with 3 notes of string, for me, it's just easier to keep it above the 50-yard line as opposed to below.
Yeah. 2 and 3 chord jams. No, I didn't see that video yet, but I'll check it out. I haven't had time to watch a lot of videos today. Dwayne Doucette, hey man, hope you're doing well. Hope I didn't miss anyone. James Severin, Michael Rendon, hello. Thrash, hey Thrash, how are you? Jason Wade, how are you, man? Hack and Dave, yeah. Oh, what's the resistance of a minor 11 chord? That's a good one. I think it's about 35 ohms.
I love a minor 11 chord. I love anything with an 11 in it. I love a sharp 11.
Guitar Hack, turn yourself up some. Okay, I guess I'm not loud enough. Let me do that.
We'll see, because I moved the mic. I moved it to the radio version. You're listening to Magic 106.7.
Yeah, next subject, please. Yeah, we've moved on from the tone wood. New guitarist, welcome. How are you? Oh, here's a new name, Blasty. Nice to see you. Michael Random, Guitar Hack. What? Oh, here's a question for you, Dave.
All righty.
What is Dave's songwriting process?
That's a great question. I have a video where I talk about songwriting and the whole thing of songwriting. I mean, it just depends on if I hear something in my head where I'm like, ooh, that could be good. But I have to tell you, and I brought this up about Jason, since Jason's in the room. I brought it up and it came up to me, you know, about you have these challenges where everyone's playing along to backing tracks. And what ends up happening is you play it and then you go out, watch it back and you're like, yeah, I did too many things that I do the same things, too cliche, too many times. Everyone has their comfort. But if you sang it first or hummed the solo that you'd love to hear, play it. Not so much as what you want to play, but what you want to hear.
Right.
Then you go back and you learn it. You feel like you didn't write it, but you did, but you're attacking it like a listener. And that's how I look at songs too. If I'm writing something and I want something to pull on someone's heartstrings, for instance, then I'll write what I would want to hear, what would get to me. Not so much as like, oh, I'm in the creative process and this is me writing, but much more like, oh, that line would really crush me, or that melody is really something I hear as being like. And so I write it from that perspective of being a listener, because I love, I mean, I figure everyone that writes music or that wants to write music loves music. And so you have so much to draw from. I mean, how many times have you heard someone play a song where they're like, oh, I want you to hear my new song. And then you listen to it. And in reality, when it goes to a change, you're like, if it goes against what you wanted to hear, you automatically are like, oh, I kind of wish it went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So already you're being part of the writing process. I mean, because you're sitting there listening to somebody else and you're like, I would have, and then you could do that later by yourself and go, wow, well, I like what that person did. And, you know, the Stones and the Beatles did this all the time. They would hear each other's songs and be like, yeah, I kind of like that, but what if we did this to it? Because I think this would, and that's how you're right. You basically become a part of the listening part of it, and then move it to the creative. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, yeah. Got a few more people that popped in. Fender Guru, hey man, Yarg Nad, welcome. Terry's GG&G, how's it going? Hey Jamal, how are you, man? Pork Chop SRV, Jack Daniels 10101, welcome. Gap Lover. Yeah, everyone is live tonight, I know. I had no idea. Yeah. What else did I see in here? Brock Stubblefield, welcome. I hope I'm catching everybody. Hey, R2R3, buddy. How are you, man? I apologize if I'm missing anyone. Yeah, you know what? Kind of along what you were saying, David, sometimes I'll hear, like, I'll listen to a song or a riff, and then I hear a part in my head, and it's like, they should put that in there.
Yeah.
You know, like that part, that would be a great hook, but it's not there, you know?
Yeah, I mean
And
that's really that's kind of I mean, how many different progressions do you think there are? I mean, you're like you
yeah,
listen to like I see you're a big Kiss fan. So when if you ever listen to bands like Iron Maiden,
yeah,
every song is a 6/4/5. Every effing song is a 6/4/5.
right.
No matter what key. It's like, I mean, how many, and they've written a lot of great songs, but they're
Hmm.
all the same progression. I mean, the ones that's, there's a couple in there that are not, but I mean, if it's in E minor, it's E minor, C, D. If it's in A, it's A minor, F, G. I mean, it's every 6/4/5 all over the place. So
Right.
it's like, you know, um, when you hear something like that, if you hear something that should be in the song, you should go and take it and rewrite it and come up with your own song. Because really, the song is about the melody. You can't copyright a chord progression. It's the melody and the lyrics that's a song.
Right.
That's what the courts say, and I'm sticking to that.
Okay, JD, I'll call you JD from now on. Quentin James is asking, what is Dave playing through when live?
It depends. In my main thing that I'm doing now, which is a band we call FM Station, we do a ton of covers. I'm playing that Hot Rod Deluxe that's behind me. It's a blue one. It's called the Hot Rod Deluxe Blues Man. You can Google it. It came out in like 2009 or 10, and it has a Celestion Vintage 30 in it. And I use a pedal board that goes in the front of it and a pedal board that goes through the effects loop. So I can draw up any sound.
Oh, you're on two boards?
Two boards. I run one direct, which is my compression and drives.
Right.
And then through the effects loop, I'm running a univibe, a chorus, a tremolo, two delays, two reverbs, and a phaser. Oh, yeah, that's a big board.
Man, you're tap dancing all night, buddy.
Oh, yeah, you have no idea. It's insanity.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I'll be playing in the middle of a song and be like, I can't believe I have so much gain. Oh, that pedal's on still? Jesus.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, it's the way my brain works, it works somehow.
That's crazy. Hey, and the blues is here. Hey, Shane. Welcome.
Hey,
man.
Shane.
You were live earlier, and I'm like, uh-oh. But
I never, Shane, great. I like your videos, man. Good stuff.
Oh, Shane's awesome, man.
From down under. Where down under is he from?
Oh, God.
Is he in Sydney?
I don't know. Shane, where are you from, buddy? I rock the blues. Welcome, my friend. David Ozab, how are you? There's a new name. Hey, Ed. How's it going? Brian Cote. He's from Melbourne.
Oh, from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Ah, very good. Tell him I'm well, I'm a big fan of some Australian bands. I love the Angels, Doc Neeson and the Angels.
Oh,
and I'm a big fan of Cold Chisel.
Okay. I never heard of them.
He knows Cold Chisel. That album East is phenomenal. Never again. I'm trying to Ian Moss is the guitar player, and he's fantastic.
Yeah. David Ozab, welcome. Emily Holdcraft Fitness, welcome.
Hey, Emily. Welcome.
I'm getting a feeling you know who this person is.
I do.
Yeah. Guitar, everyone. From Newfoundland, another Canuck. I'm from Ontario. Guitar, everyone. Welcome. Yeah, Shane is saying Ian Moss is a monster player, so he definitely.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Yeah. That acoustic album he did a couple of years back, well, probably more than a couple now, probably 10 years ago, is great. Great. And you know who I used to see around LA all the time was Colin Hay from Men at Work. And he goes around and plays all over LA doing like acoustic versions of Men at Work stuff. And he's unreal. Yeah. I love him. Great.
Yeah. Somebody was asking to see your board, but I don't think you want to do that.
It's downstairs in the cases. I have it on I think I have. I'll do it another time with you. I'll have my board. I can even set it up for you and show you it's insanity because I have. I have. Let me just tell you the drives I have on my board. I have a AC booster by exotic effects.
Right.
I have the Boiling Point by Rockbox. I have the Brad Jetter's Indigo Fuzz, which he doesn't make anymore. I have the Black Cat Super Fuzz. I have the 73 Ram's Head from Vic Audio on there. I'm just getting started. No, I'm just kidding. I have the Timmy.
The Timmy I know. And
I have the Angry Charlie from JHS. Great pedal. I'm running a fat boost on that board, the Wampler compressor.
Regular Angry Charlie, not the Andy Timmons version.
No, I have the version 2, which is the I think the Andy Timmons is a spoof on the version 3. It's got the 3-band EQ, and mine just has the 2.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the version 2. It's a great pedal for making a Fender sound like a Marshall.
Yeah.
But better than a Marshall, because I'm not a big Marshall fan. Don't look behind me though.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm not. I'm not. There's a tone in the Marshall amps that I don't like, and I find that like Mesa, I have a dual rectifier over here, is a much nicer sounding gain to me. Yeah. It doesn't have like this tone that comes through that bothers me like in the Marshalls. But I got these Marshalls because I want to hold on to them for a while, and I know that they're only going up.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not like all Marshalls across the board. They all have that characteristic tone that rubs you the wrong way.
You know what it sounds like to me? It's almost like if you've ever listened to the original Tube Screamer. There's like I can't even I call it a yellowing of the tone. It makes the sound yellow for some reason. That's how I hear it. It's like a metallic sound. And if you ever use like a Tube Screamer knockoff, they don't have it. Like the Boiling Point is like on a similar circuit. The AC booster is a similar circuit. Oh, I also have the Paisley Drive on my board.
The Wampler.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice. That's
so the
Marshall, right?
I mean, most of my drives I keep I don't really use high. The only one that I turn up and use it as like a distortion is the Angry Charlie, and I only use it on 3 songs.
Do you stack them?
Yes. Well, I stack the Timmy as the boost for all of them. Like if I have a drive on and I go to a solo, I'm hitting the Timmy.
Okay, so the Timmy is your Tube Screamer, so to speak, your lead boost.
It's like a boost, yeah, lead boost, yeah.
Right. What do you use for a clean boost?
The AC booster.
Oh, okay.
Which really stands for the almost clean.
Right.
That's what the pedal it means, almost clean, and then the RC is really clean.
Right. No, the Timmy, somebody loaned me a Timmy for a while, and it blew me away.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's a great pedal.
I love it.
The Angry Charlie, I've tried that in music stores, so I haven't really tried that with my stuff, but I remember that being pretty cool too. Yeah.
My only issue with the Angry Charlie, and I'm sure Shane, because he demos pedals, can understand this, and this is something that most guys that demo pedals don't really get involved in, and they kind of should, is whether the pedal plays nice with others. Because if you sit there and demo, if you gave me a pedal, every pedal's going to sound pretty good. I mean, I can play guitar. I mean, you can play guitar. Shane plays guitar. You can make anything sound pretty good. But like, I have an Animal by J Rocket, and it's a good sounding pedal.
Right.
Put it with something, put a compressor in front of it, or put something behind it like a Timmy, like a classic boost, and the noise floor triples. The Boiling Point can sound exactly like the Animal, and if I put the Timmy behind the Boiling Point, it is bone silent. It is like dead silent. So the Boiling Point becomes workable for me, and the Animal's sitting in my pedal drawer.
You know, what you were just saying just reminded me of something. So with all those pedals and noise floor and all that, you're okay without any type of gate. Noise suppression.
No gate. Wow. I make sure that everything that I'm using, that's really why I've narrowed it down to the pedals that I use, is because they all keep a low noise floor.
Right.
especially when the Timmy goes on. And I don't have the Timmy set for like crazy gain. I'm using it really as just a hair of gain, just to put a little bit more sizzle,
right,
and a little bit more volume. But like I said, the Animal, if you go watch demos of the Animal on YouTube, no one's talking about how it reacts with another pedal. To me, the pedal's unusable. I can't use it for anything.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas the Boiling Point to me is one of the greatest pedals because it's so amazing to take a compressor in front of it and put a Timmy behind it. And with a Strat, I can get the tone of Don Felder's solo in One of These Nights, where it's just this beautiful singing lead where I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you're watching pedal reviews, it's kind of hard as the person watching, because I'm like, yeah, I wonder what that's going to sound like in my mess. And it's not really a mess. It's a really clean board.
That's kind of the problem, though, isn't it? That's why they can't do it. I mean, how many possible combinations are there? I mean, your board is different than my board is different than the next guy's board.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think a lot of people run I'm running a buffer too. The buffer is the first thing I hit. So I had a neighbor in Santa Monica, and this guy used to buy the most expensive pedals, Walter. I mean, he would come down to my apartment and be like, look what I just bought. I'm like, you spent $600 on a line driver from Cornish? He's like, yeah. He's like, but you got to hear it. So I'm like, all right, let me hear it. So this is before I had a buffer on my, no, I had a buffer on my board. So I took my buffer off, I put the line driver on, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's why this is $600. So then it sounded unbelievable. And then I was like, well, wait a second. I went online, I looked up what it was doing, and I said, oh, well, my buffer's doing this, but this is adding all this. So I was like, let me try the Fat Boost 3 by Full Tone. So I stacked the buffer with the Full Tone 3, and I got the exact same thing as a $600 line driver. The same effect, the same, the same, everything was the same, and it sounds great. And that's what I use. Those two pedals are always on my board. And it's just setting it at unity gain, but it's setting a clarity that I can't explain.
Yeah. But, you're going to lose. I mean, you need, with all the pedals you've got, you're going to lose a lot if you don't compensate, right?
Well, no, you only really lose before you hit the first pedal that's on, because the first pedal that's on makes it low impedance and throws voltage into the mix. And voltage doesn't see resistance. It's only the current that will see it coming. So if you play a guitar, like a lot of people will sit there and, they'll tell me about, like, I bought the greatest cables. They have zero resistance, this and that. I'm like, really? What guitar are you playing? Oh, that's my guitar. And I'm like, you have EMGs in it. Those are active pickups. Yeah. Well, those pickups run on voltage. There is no resistance. You aren't going to, it's no matter what cable you use, it's going to sound the same. You don't have resistance. You're running through voltage. So, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to current. You're looking at me.
I have to disagree with you there.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, no, like I think it's the terms that you're using. You're going to have, what you have in a cable is you mentioned impedance, right? So
I'm talking low and high impedance.
Right. So impedance is resistance, inductance, and capacitance. You put those all under the same umbrella, you have impedance. Right? It's a blend of the three.
Right.
So the idea is, what you really want is, you want impedances to match from your output to your input to have what's called maximum power transfer, which is everything that's coming out to make it to its destination. Right? So the problem is, when you start getting into pedals and all these sort of things in between, what they're doing is they're messing with your impedance, with your signal path, and making it more difficult for your initial signal from your amp, from your pickup, to get to they're like roadblocks.
Yes, but yes and no, because if you have low impedance, what resistance is the cable doing?
If you have low impedance, low impedance and high impedance, I mean, it doesn't really, how would I explain this? It doesn't really matter
Oh,
as
yes,
long as
it
the
does.
impedances match.
No, if you're sending high impedance through a cable,
First of all, okay, I'm going to stop.
the longer the cable,
Right.
the more you're going to lose sound, because
Yes.
the more resistance you're putting to the
In the copper, yes. If we're talking strictly copper resistance, yes.
right. So if I have a long cable, which is why people use buffers.
Right. That's right.
Right. But the buffer is just doing what active pickups do, which is put voltage into the signal and bring the impedance down, and then it doesn't matter. Because the pickups, the battery and the preamp in the EMGs act as your buffer. That becomes your buffer. You have a buffered signal going now down the cable. So if using a 40-foot cable with EMGs, you're not hearing that cable. If 40-foot cable with Gibson pickups, you need a buffer. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter how much resistance. So like if you go look at like this is a monster cable, right? $100 piece of crap.
Yeah.
It's but when I worked at the store, what's that?
That's marketing again.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing with them is why you're paying $100 for this Pro series is it probably cost them $6 to manufacture, and then if you break it 2 or 3 times, you'll return it. So they're only into it for like $24, and you've spent $74 in profit for them, which they love. But yeah, I mean it's nonsense. But if you took a cable like this, and then you took a cable that's has bad, like you can go. There's a website that shows you which cables have the worst resistance and which ones per 10 feet of cable, what the resistance is.
Yeah, the copper resistance. Basically, how like the gauge of the wire at the end of the day, it's all stranded, but the gauge of the wires, right?
Yes,
twisted. Yeah.
Right. So the point I'm saying is if you're using, regardless what cable you're using, if you're using a buffer, it wouldn't matter. And that's what the pickups and AMGs do. They buffer the signal and make it a low impedance. That's the whole point of it. That's why they're always much brighter. People always complain, oh, EMGs are bright. Well, they're bright because you're hearing the pickup. Not only that, but there are also very few wounds on them. And they're treating it almost like a phantom powered microphone where there's not enough wounds around the pickup to make it have any substantial sound.
Yeah.
So then you need to boost that and put a preamp to it to give it sound.
Right. Suave Trainwreck is here. Hey, welcome, Suave.
Hey, Suave.
Let's see if I'm missing anyone else here. Bearded Blues Dude, how are you? Guitar Hack, this is why Vi uses an all Boss rig live. Okay. Joe Hervey 84.
Well, because the Bosses have buffers all built in them.
Yeah, I think that's where he's going. R2R3 plus EMG pickups using cable or wireless sound good. Guitar Hack. Okay, I think I've caught everyone. If I've missed, Marsman, welcome. If I've missed anyone, I apologize. We got 57 people watching, Dave.
Wow.
Yeah. So I apologize if I've missed anyone. Hey, Brad Miller, welcome. David Ozab, welcome. Thank you all so much for popping in. Yeah, so
go ahead. Sorry. No, I mean, so that's kind of like where I am with the cables as far as like I use once it goes into my buffer on my board, I'm using Hoser flathead connectors.
Right.
And I've had people say, oh, I'm like, my buffer is always on. I'm like, yeah, no, you aren't going to tell me you can hear the difference. So we used to do John and I, for those that watched my guitar talk, John Bingham and I, we used to do all kinds of stuff at the store. We would have like reps come in And we would have we like, oh, let's compare it, because they would make a claim about their cable, and we'd be like, well, we're here with about 50 amplifiers in front of us. Let's put that claim to the test. And we were busting balls nonstop.
You must have pissed off a lot of people.
Oh, no, they loved us. They're all great guys. They all, the way the reps work for companies is they're juggling from one position to the next. They're all good guys, but they come at us like they know if we're going to buy something or not. Like, we used to sell Monster and Megami. I don't care what the Monster bass makes it. Don't try to sell it to me. We'll put it up on the wall. If somebody wants to buy it, they'll buy it. But I'm not going to. We timed the wine. I mean, it's like the most insane thing that they used to claim.
Yeah.
But they spend a lot of money in marketing. People bought them, so we would carry them. We didn't care.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you're just trying to get a signal from point A to point B.
You just want it to sound. You just want to sound good.
Yeah. As long as you got some amount of shielding, and you got a decent sized conductor, you're pretty much good to go.
Well, we used to be across in the Village Recorder, and I remember the guy. You ever hear of the Mavericks?
Oh, yeah, I think I have.
The country band?
Okay, right.
Eddie, I can't think of his last name, came in one time, and I had no idea who he was. This guy just picks a Strat up off the wall, plugs it into a small, like a Pro Junior, and he was smoking. I was like, what the hell? So I went over, I'm like, you got to show me that lick. And then, of course, I find out he's in the Mavericks. But it's like, it doesn't matter. If you can play, and this is why I always stress, because the stuff that we're talking about here is all stuff people can argue about all day. It doesn't matter, though, because when you're good, you're good. The guys in the 70s that were playing, like Angus Young, when he was playing on Powerage, plugged his SG straight into a Marshall Super Lead. It just sounded good. He didn't sit there and give a shit about what cable he was using. Right. He didn't sit there and know what Bumblebee capacitor was on his tone knob. He didn't give a shit. He just played. The guys put they put a microphone up to his speaker. They hit record, and then they're like, go ahead. And now millions of people are like trying to get his sound, and they're like, to get that sound, you need. Well, you ever see that box that guy makes? It's to sound like his old wireless, the Schaefer wireless system. Have anyone ever seen this pedal?
No, I don't think.
Oh my God, you got to look this up. You're gonna shit yourself. It's called the Schaefer system because I think his name was Ken Schaefer, who made the original wireless that Angus Young used. So this guy, and Angus uses it now. This pedal, it's like $400 for a pedal.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's the same. You can buy the same pedal. What's the G&L one? The BBE, the red pedal that everyone always gets. BBE makes it. It's the same damn thing as that. What is that BBE? Someone, see if someone in the comments knows.
Somebody in the comment. Do you know? What
the Sonic something.
Welcome, Dale Palmer.
Is it called the Sonic Stomp or the Sonic? There's a rack mount version of it. BBE makes it.
Okay, I'm just looking down the chat to see if anyone knows what you're talking about. Zip Fix, so welcome. Sonic Max.
Sonic Maximizer. Thank you so much. Exactly. You can get that for $100, or you can spend $500 more and buy the Schaefer system. Nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I mean, people are crazy. It's like, somebody's marketing it, and then you go and you listen to it. The reason I know it's nuts is because I had a friend that bought one, and he brought it over, and he had the Sonic Maximizer. We went back and forth, and we're like, yeah, it's the Sonic Maximizer, basically. But you paid 5 times for it. It went on Craigslist as fast. As soon as he got it in, it was like that thing was... Somebody got $100 discount on a brand new one.
Daniel Horsley just popped in. Hey, Daniel, how are you? Yeah. I like my pedal board is nowhere near as crazy as yours. I've tried to keep it down to. I'm actually up. I shouldn't say keep it down. I'm up to 12 now.
Oh, you're in the zone.
Yeah, but everything in the front, nothing in the. I'm not using effects loops. Everything.
Okay.
Right, and yeah, and like we were talking about with the tones and all of that. Like I play in a cover band, and I mean everything from Jenny to CCR to, Green Day, right?
Right.
And you got to swap your tones again, not 100%, but you got to be somewhat, in the ballpark.
Yeah. So the reason why I do what I do with the effects loop is, do you notice if you're using your delay in your clean?
Yeah.
The second you go turn on your distortion pedal, that delay now is really loud coming out of your amp.
When you have it in the front, you're talking about?
When you put it in the front. If you have your delay, if you listen to the delay with it on the clean and then put your distortion on, just by the nature of physics, you're slamming the delay with a harder signal.
I gotta listen for that, because that's nothing I've really noticed.
The delay will come through a lot louder. And so when you do it through the effects loop, you have that consistency. Now, in certain pedals, there's a wanted advantage to that. Some people want the chorus behind the distortion, because if you're putting a chorus on, it blooms and makes a real, but I prefer to keep everything consistent in the loop. That's the only reason why I do it. It's just, I like sometimes, like I've gone to, my other guitar player, who's the singer, he sometimes plays guitars on songs, and he goes everything to the front, and he'll step on it, and he'll rush to shut off the delay because it's too loud.
I gotta, you know what? I gotta listen for that, because that's something that I've never noticed. I gotta listen a little closer next time. But see, the thing is, the other reason I don't do the effects loop is it's just a lot more cables going back and forth. And I don't know what type of venues you play, but I play pretty small places. I mean, the place I played last Saturday night, I mean, the stage was just big enough for the drums and one guy, and we're standing on the sides. Like, this is a
that's, I mean, it's a bar.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bar. Yeah.
It's a bar, right?
Yeah.
And so I try to keep it as basic as, I got a little Marshall combo. I don't know if you can see it back there.
That one right there, the DSL.
That's right. If I can just get away with that, I'm taking that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that has an effects loop, doesn't it, though?
I believe it does. I've never used it.
Yeah. So it would just be using 2 extra cables.
2 extra cables back. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. One. Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. To me, it's like, I'm just super anal about the sound. So I
can. Yeah. I mean, you're more of a perfectionist, I'm sure, than I am. Cheddar Kung Pao is here. Hey, buddy. Welcome.
Hey, Cheddar.
Oh, I need to mention, as Brian Cote is, if he's still in here, folks, Brian Cote is slowly approaching 200 subs. So if you haven't subbed to Brian Cote, please do so. And let's get Brian over 200 subs. That would be awesome. Actually, let me take this opportunity to say this. I say this on every show. We got a great community here, great bunch of people. If you haven't subbed to everyone else in the community, please do. We've got some fantastic channels in here with some great content. Please give them a sub. Dave's Guitar Channel, I have Dave's Guitar Channel in the cards. If you haven't subbed to Dave, please do. Dave's channel is, if nothing, entertaining. I find it hilarious.
I hope. I mean, you have to understand, half the thing I say is meant to be funny.
No, I get that, and if you have a sense of humor, I mean, you'll get that. You'll get it.
Yeah.
But no, Dave's Guitar Channel is awesome, and if any reason, if you haven't subbed to me, please do. If you like what you're seeing, please hit the like button, and let's all keep it positive, and let's all support each other. And
it's a great community out there, and it's like, it's funny because I get like harsh criticism on some of my posts, and then sometimes people will just say like, or make comments about my tattoo, like I give a shit about what they, it's, I don't care. It's like, whatever. I mean, I've been through it all. It doesn't matter to me. I just find it more funny. I'm more of like a like the Stranger. If you ever I read the book by Camus. I want them all to be there for when I hang. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't care. Like, I mean, like John and I, we've been around the business and we talk about it, and I've done the gigs. I've you know what, I just I try to pass on information to people.
Yeah.
If they, you know what I mean? And it's like, my main thing is like, just go out and play. Like,
Yeah.
it's all cool to talk about stuff and everything, but you know, playing is like important. And, you know, there's so much about the gear, and I love gear, and
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? But it's like, I feel like, you know, I love the gear, but to me, it's like, if I had to get stripped down and go with one guitar and one amp, I could do it. I don't, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not, I just think that there's something about like for me, the music is far more what got me into and listening to songs than the gear. Like, I'm playing bass in a band, and
you were Funk Station, right?
Yeah. And it's forcing me to listen to stuff that, you know, like, I don't get to listen to a lot. And it's so good. I mean, it's so, like, you listen to like Gamble and Huff from the Philly soul age, and you're just like, oh wow, like, there's just real clever and hooky stuff.
Right.
And it's just like, to me, that makes me smile. Someone gets it there and say, look at my new Les Paul, and I'd be like, that's cool. But doesn't make me smile. I mean, it's cool. I mean, a guitar's a guitar. I love guitars, but there's something about a hook when I hear in a song, and I'm like,
just clever,
a good, right? A good hook's a good hook. And in fact, I love the song The Hook. You know the song The Hook by Blues Traveler?
Oh, no.
You gotta look. The song is really clever, because the song, he basically says, no matter what he sings in the lyrics to the song, the hook brings you back.
It's gonna work, yeah.
Yeah, the hook is, you know, the song, the hook brings you back.
I'd have to hear it.
Oh, that you can rely. I mean, it's brilliant about songwriting. The hook, it's all about the hook. There used to be a saying in LA when I was working in sessions, don't bore us, get to the chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how people don't have any, you know, back in the day, you could have a 4-minute introduction to a song like Foreplay Long Time by Boston.
Right. Boston.
Today, if you wrote a song like that, people be like this. Let's go. Right? Sing me the thing that I can walk. People are dumb now. We've dumbed down society. We've succeeded in dumbing down society to the point where they can't listen.
Any new Rush coming along anytime soon. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Wizard One Music, welcome. Yeah, I hear you. RJ the Mad One, if I haven't said hello. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
I mean, it's just like, I mean, look at Kiss. When you Rock Bottom, that great intro, right? Never going to hear shit like that anymore. Now it'd be like, no, you just get right in there.
You know the reason for that intro, though, right?
No.
The reason for that intro is they literally had to eat up more time.
That's on Dress to Kill.
Right.
Yeah, that album was super short.
Yeah, the album was like, you know, you go to the bathroom and it's over.
The funny thing is Neil Bogart produced that one.
Yes, he did.
And it's produced way better than Hotter Than Hell.
Yeah. Well, we talked a little bit about that last night.
Yeah.
And Hotter Than Hell, what I was trying to didn't come over is they were really trying to get heavy.
Yeah.
They were trying to sound like Black Sabbath. And they overcompressed the shit out of that. And it just turned into garbled mush, as you know.
Oh, it's a horrible sounding record.
Right. And which is really frustrating, because the songs on that record are amazing.
They're great.
You know?
Great.
Like, there's a lot of great too. The guitar solo that Ace does in Strange Ways, I think, is one of his top 2, maybe 3 solos he's ever done.
I wish that was on a live.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because I think that's like one of the best songs on the record.
Yeah. And I don't
Strange Way.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but Peter Criss wanted to do a big drum solo in that song. And they actually, they just to sort of, you know, make him happy, they let him do one, and then they cut it out of the song.
Yeah, didn't he say he was going to quit the band if they didn't let him do it?
Well, it was that, and they said he was going to quit the band if they didn't give him a lead vocal, so Paul Stanley let him sing Mainline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that song's my least favorite on the record, too.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watching You is fantastic. I'll tell you right now, I think Gene has the best voice in the band. I love his voice, the tone of his voice.
Well, when he's not Cookie
I'm
Monster.
almost human.
Oh, that's Cookie Monster. Okay. Yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
When he sings like, you got nothing to lose, he's great on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Almost Human, that lead break that Ace does, like everything that Ace did on those right up till shit, I'll even go as far as Unmasked was gold.
Yeah.
His lead breaks were the highlights.
What's his name? Didn't like him though. Bob Ezrin didn't like him.
Well, whatever.
Right. He cut the solo out and gave Dick Wagner the solo on Sweet Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wagner also played on Aerosmith's Same Old Song and Dance and
yeah, Train Kept a Rolling.
Train Kept a Rolling, him and Steve Hunter. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It wasn't the guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, Destroyer had, Detroit Rock City was, Ezra made that up.
Right. I'm not a fan. I have to tell you, that's my least favorite Kiss album in the first 8.
I would. You know what? I will take Rock and Roll Over, which is my favorite album.
Yeah, so you told me that.
Yeah, I know you don't agree.
Put your hand in my pocket. I like Take Me on that record.
Mr. Speed.
I'm so bad. That's why that's a good song.
Fantastic riff.
For Baby Driver.
I love Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Making Love. I Want You.
Yeah.
I mean, Love Him, Leave Him.
Love Him. Yeah.
That's a great song. There's so many good. And Peter Criss actually played drums really well on that record.
Yeah, and that was an Eddie Kramer album.
Pardon me?
Eddie Kramer produced that one.
Yes, he did. That one and The Love Gun, which is a good album, but not on the same level as Rock and Roll Over, but it's close.
Yeah. I have to say the second 3 albums to me, as I got older, I liked less and less.
Oh, okay.
As a kid, I liked them the best, those 3.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, the first 3 to me are like the greatest. And I still like Dynasty.
You know what? It's funny you say that because I get shit on for this, but I love Unmasked.
Well, Unmasked had, I think, the songs that Ace did.
Torpedo Girl?
3 Sides of the Coin, Torpedo Girl, and Talk to Me.
Talk to Me, yeah.
Great.
Which actually was sort of a hit in Australia.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. It was.
I think I like Dynasty because I like Save Me by Ace.
Save Your Love, you mean?
Save Your Love, I mean, yeah. And I also like the Stones cover he does of 2000 Man.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Dynasty, I like X-Ray Eyes. Sure Know Something, Magic Touch.
I was. We've talked about doing Sure Know Something in my band. I keep putting the nay on it, but I probably should do it because it's such a fun song.
Dude, I Was Made for Loving You will go over.
Yeah, and that was what's his face that helped with that song. What's that?
Paul Stanley wrote that with Desmond Child.
Desmond Child, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what made Desmond Child, basically.
Right.
That was his first song that he wrote when he was he had a band with, what was the girl's name? Desmond Child and
Rouge.
Rouge, yeah, gosh. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a Kiss freak, eh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, according to Desmond Child, Paul Stanley wanted to date his ex-girlfriend.
That's right.
And and so Paul, out of guilt, was like, hey, we should write together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, all right. And then
they were buddies, eh? Like back in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Hang out in the clubs.
But I guess it was right around the time when he came out of the closet, Desmond Child.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's great. He wrote some great songs. Did you see there's a great video of him talking about those songs?
I saw that.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah, I saw that. And he I think it was I'm pretty sure it's Paul Stanley that introduced him to the Bon Jovi guys.
Yes. Yeah. I think he says that in the book.
And that skyrocketed him.
Yeah.
Those records. Yeah.
Evan, I was telling you, Evan Stanley used to come into my shop quite a bit.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, he used to come in and And like I said, that's what I said to him. I asked him about that. I said, "Hey, whatever happened to that one pickup Firebird one your dad had?" And he was like, "Oh, it got stolen. Don't bring it up." He gets bummed out. And I was like, "Okay." And that's what I was saying. That's we never talked. He might have been wrong. He might have confused it with the other guitar, but that's what he said to me.
I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look it up because it's in either his book or one of the books I have. That because I know like he really, and I think it was during the recording of Destroyer that guitar got smashed in the studio. Somebody pulled the cord and it went over and broke.
Oh, I'm sure he had it repaired. There was a million guys that repair those headstock things, but
yeah, but I guess it was never.
It was black by then, right? Because it was
black, yeah.
Well, it wasn't always on Kiss Alive on the album cover. It's sunburst.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's
go take
black already.
What's that?
It maybe in the photo looks like it's.
There's if you go to. There's like, ever seen those pictures from Alive, the photo session from the Alive?
Yeah.
There's like a million photos. I'm pretty sure you can see it there, but.
Yeah. Well, they shot all of that at the Michigan Palace the day of the show.
Oh, yeah. You got a problem.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I told you.
Christ.
I know too much, buddy.
Yeah. I love the fact that was it Kiss Alive 2 where it's like Kiss uses Gibson guitars and he's holding an Ibanez Iceman. Right on the cover. Well, Kiss only uses Gibson guitars. Pay no attention to the man with the Ibanez Iceman.
Yeah, it was funny. Was back in around the Alive days in '75, right? When they got that sponsorship, and then Peter Criss was sponsored by Pearl Drums when Pearl Drums was like nothing. Right. And so what Gibson was doing is they were sending like skids of the Gibson Marauder guitars. And those were the ones that Paul would smash. Oh. So he wouldn't play the guitar at all, right?
Yeah.
He would just bring it out, last song, switch guitars, and then smash it. And then they decided that's not great for us, marketing wise, we're giving this guy guitars to break. And you're gonna laugh, but when I told you I'm, about the Firebird, right? When I went to my the guy, the tech that does my stuff, when I went to him to drop the guitar off to get it all set up, guess what I see hanging there? What? A Gibson Marauder. I took a photo of it.
Oh boy!
I've never seen one in person, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a Gibson. I said, you know what that is? And apparently it's all original, and the guy, there's a guy that owns it. It's all original. Yeah. It's from what, 74 or 5 or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's when he'd be getting those. I said that's when he'd be getting those, about 74, 75.
Yeah. Anyways, are you? We've been going for an hour and 20.
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, you've seen me. You call the shots.
Yeah, you did a bit of a marathon last night too, didn't you?
I was waiting for my podcast to render. So I was like, while it was rendering, I'm like, well, I'll go live. I just started rendering it, and the thing took forever. I was like, Christ, what the heck's going on here? But
I got it up. It was up this morning.
Yeah, I put it up last night, like 1 o'clock in the morning. I think it finally hit.
Wow. It's a long time.
Yeah. Well, I know. Then I had to upload it. It was an hour and a half, so then it took some time to upload.
Uploading takes,
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was fine.
Well, we'll go for a couple more minutes.
Whatever you want to do. How many people you got on?
46 right now. I'm just scrolling through the chat. Welcome, Blasty. Christine 16. How did that ever fly? It was a different time.
Right. Well, what do you mean? What about going blind? I'm 93, you're 16. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, we'll go for a couple more minutes.
Christine 16 works better in what was the rap song that it was in? Was it Funky Cold Medina or was it
Funky Cold Medina?
Yeah. Gang.
Up off the snare, yeah. Watchman for you, welcome. So if anybody's got any last questions that you want to ask, Jamal Kareem just subbed you, Dave.
Oh, thank you, Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal's a good dude. Yeah. If any last questions, please tag me at Guitar Hack, and we're gonna hang out here for a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna pack it in. Little J1, welcome. So again, yeah, if you haven't subbed, please sub each other in the chat. Please sub Dave. Dave's channel is in the cards. If you're not subbed to me, I see a lot of new faces here, new names. Please sub me. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll keep it going. Oh,
so Walter, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, he's got a question. What guitar cleaner do you dudes use?
Cleaner?
Yeah.
Where we're going, we don't need roads. Where we're going, you don't need roads. No, so that's Back to the Future. Whatever wipe, I don't know. I honestly, I think I have like Fender. I have bottles of stuff that was given to me over the time. Whatever D'Addario gives me, I use.
Yeah. I've got, I'm looking at it. I've got Gibson guitar polish. And then for the frets, when I want to, give them some love, I use these lemon oil. I think it's,
so the best thing what I use for frets is, and the only thing you're going to do is if you have painter's tape, is to put painter's tape over the pickups because it'll stick to the magnets. But I use quadruple-aught steel wool. Oh yeah, the Dunlop 65. There you go.
Yeah.
Which I don't think really even has any lemon oil in it. It's just well, lemon oil is not good for the guitar.
It's what do you call it? It's got the like the sponge on the top.
Right, because I think lemon oil is not. I think the lemon in actual lemon oil, like real lemon oil,
right, is
not good for adhesives. So it takes apart glue. That's why if you buy like guitar makers lemon oil, it's always like fake.
Yeah, well, it's funny.
It's really mineral oil
with ultimate lemon oil.
Right. And then you look at the ingredients and it'll say mineral oil.
Yeah. So if I put this in a glass with some ice, it'll be okay, right?
Yeah, delicious. Anyways, this is one of the guitars that I bought this on Craigslist. It was it was in mint condition. It was brand new, basically. It was a Mexican Strat, and I swapped the neck on it. I put this Wenge neck with an ebony fingerboard on it.
That's beautiful, man.
And I've had the frets scalloped. I don't know if you can see. Like I get them scalloped just on the top.
The higher frets, right?
Yeah. Well, just not the whole fret. Even it's just the higher strings.
Well, like above the 15th fret, you do that.
This is from the 19th fret on.
Oh, okay.
No, 18th fret. Sorry.
18. All right.
You can kind of see, and then it's a Wenge neck with an ebony board, and I put the DiMarzio pickups in it. And I used, I changed the saddles because I hate the regular Fender saddles, so I put the Graphtec saddles. But this is like one of my main guitars, big V-neck, plays great.
Yeah, you like the big necks, eh, Dave?
I do. I like the V-necks, and I like the nut width to be about 1 3/4, which is wide.
So Rick Hefner is saying, remember to spray it on the cloth and not straight on the guitar pickup. Same for any cleaner. Yeah, it's a good tip, Rick.
But yeah, so if you want to polish your frets, though, a nice trick is to use quadruple-aught steel wool.
Okay.
It'll take any gunk off of it you want. But like I said, just put some painter's tape over the pickups because the steel wool will start to come off and it'll stick to the tape because the magnets will.
Right. Well, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
Right. But it's really great. It really it'll polish your frets up nice.
Thanks, Lendo27, for popping in. Appreciate it. ChickNGuitars is here. Welcome.
Oh, Willkommen.
I don't like SSS guitars, but that's dope. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, I lately, well, later in my life, I switched to single coils, all single coils. I like them. This I use in the bridge is a Pro 54 DiMarzio, and it sounds great. But I think he's a ChickNGuitars just came on. She posted something. I do like the ethereal sounding stuff. I was a big Cocteau Twins fan, and I know she posted like some thing she was working on or something.
Thanks for popping in, Ivan Carter. Ivan Carter's taken off.
But I do like you know, like the ethereal sound. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
got into Robin Guthrie at all or Cocteau Twins.
No.
I listen to every style of music. I listen to everything from like R&B to like a lot of alternate stuff out of out of Europe. And then I'm a metal. You know, I grew up on Kiss.
Yeah. Well, you know, passed away today, or well, I think it was yesterday actually. I don't know if you remember the band Talk Talk?
Yes, the singer did, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mark
I don't
no.
forget his name.
Mike, I can't remember his name. Yeah, I love that. I love those. I love the song Talk Talk. It's my life. And
a big hit. And then
well, Talk Talk was the first hit. It was on the first album. Talk Talk. All you do to me is talk talk. That was a great song. In fact, the Fine Young Cannibals kind of stole it when they came out with their first song, Johnny, I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh yeah, okay.
Won't you come on home, right? That was a ripoff of Talk Talk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because It's My Life was on their second record, if I remember correctly.
No Doubt covered it.
Yeah, No Doubt did that, yeah.
Brent McCord, welcome. I got a question for me. Joe Hervey 84, how are you? Hack, do I play a Harley Benton? I'm getting one this week while ordering one. I've never played a Harley Benton. No, I don't know anything. I mean, I know about them only from what I've seen from other people. And actually, Shane, I don't know if he's in here anymore, from In the Blues, I was talking to him about it the other day, and he was saying they're the real deal. They're pretty good guitars. So good luck to you, man. I'm sure you'll love it.
Yeah, if anyone has any music trivia questions for me, I'm pretty good at music trivia.
Okay, let's hit Dave up for some. Yeah, and if anybody's got any Kiss trivia.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what kind of shoes Gene was wearing on September 3rd. Anyway, Preston Smith, welcome. Yeah, I've only heard good things about Harley Benton. Yeah, me too.
Harley Benton or Barbie Benton?
Barbie Benton. Oh, now we're going back. Hugh Hefner's girlfriend back in the 70s.
That's right. Yeah, she was on an episode of Love Boat.
Yeah, I think she was on an episode of Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island too, absolutely.
Yeah, they did the what do you call it? It was like a circuit.
Those were all the Aaron Spelling shows.
Battle of the Network Stars, you know. I'm sure
she was my favorite. That was my favorite.
I love that.
Young Linda Carter is stepping up to the pool now. They had the whole shebang about the relay race, and it was like Robert Conrad, Telly Savalas, and a young Gabe Kaplan are arguing about. Oh, it's hilarious. They had Howard Cosell there to legitimize.
Yeah, to make it legit. Yeah. Yeah, shit like that doesn't happen anymore, man.
Oh, it was my all-time. And a young Scott Baio looks on. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Hey, RMG 471. We love Dave here in the Midwest. There you go.
Oh, hey, thanks, Ryan.
I'll sub you.
Hey,
too.
Ryan, here's a shout out for Kelly, too. What's up, Kelly?
Yeah, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's a good group of folks here, man. Yeah, those shows from the 70s, man. Do you remember Howard Cosell actually had a variety show?
No.
He hosted a variety show. I'm talking, this lasted maybe 2 months or something. And it was like a Saturday night ABC variety show. Came and went really fast.
They gave remember Shields and Yarnell?
Oh, the mimes?
Exactly.
Yeah, they had a show for about a week. Yeah.
Yeah, she also played a villain on Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yarnell did, or whatever her name was.
You know, I probably, like most kids my age, had a mad crush on Wonder Woman, Linda Carter.
Yeah, Linda Carter. Well, I wonder why. She was drop dead gorgeous.
I mean, yeah, she's one of the most beautiful women that ever walked.
Right. Even Cosell. A young Linda Carter is walking up to the pool now.
You know, give me that.
Here at Pepperdine University to see Amy's. What's that?
I said, I'll take that Wonder Woman over all the others.
I didn't even know there was any. There is no others.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah.
Who was your favorite Catwoman, though? That's the question. Was it out of the three, Eartha Kitt, Julie Newmar, or Lee Merriweather from the TV show?
I'm going to say Julie Newmar.
She was the most. She was on
the most. Lee Merriweather.
She was 7 times
Yeah, Lee
Yeah.
Merriweather came later. She was the last.
She was only on once. She was in the movie, the 2-hour movie, and
That's
then
right.
Eartha Kitt did it twice.
The movie at the very end when he's running around the dock trying to get rid of the bomb.
Horrendous.
That was hilarious. Holy shit! I love.
I call we have a guy in my town we call King Tut because he looks like the actor Victor Buono that played King Tut.
Oh yeah. Preston Smith, how are you? Yeah, I love that movie.
I love that. Oh, the show was great.
Oh, I
those shows in the 60s.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's like I'm, trying to think who else was on that. That was
what
Vincent
on Batman?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody was on that.
Vincent Price played Egghead.
Yeah, Vincent Price was Egghead. Now I'm drawing a blank. Frank Gorshin.
Frank Gorshin was the Riddler.
The Riddler, yeah. Cesar Romero. Joker.
So was John Aston. John Aston was the Riddler. The Joker was Cesar Romero.
Yeah, that's what. Isn't that what I said? Cesar Romero was the Joker.
Oh, I don't know. You cut out, so I was like,
sorry. No,
it cut
Cesar
on me.
Romero.
Yeah, he was the Joker.
John Aston was who?
He was the Riddler in an episode as well. Him and Frank Gorshin both played the Riddler.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Rick Hefner's asking if I remember Don Kirshner's Midnight Special. Oh yeah, I did. I remember.
No, Don Kirshner's rock concert.
Don Kirshner's rock concert. Yeah, there was 2 shows, right?
Midnight Special was Burt Sugarman or something. Sugarman.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Don Kirshner was originally the Monkees TV show. He was the music supervisor.
Yeah.
And he was also the manager of Neil Diamond. That's why the Monkees did 2 Neil Diamond songs for the show, because Kirshner was the tie-in.
Burgess Meredith, yeah.
Burgess Meredith was the Penguin.
The Penguin, yeah.
It's also on a couple of episodes of Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of Twilight Zone. What I watched a lot of every single episode was Star Trek.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What was the oh my God, I'm blanking on the name of it when you have the something Maru. What the heck's the name of it? The
oh God, now that you said it,
when you have the test.
Yeah, the test that he needed to pass. Yeah.
Yeah, what is it called? It begins with a K. The something
if somebody knows in the chat. Okay, we got onto old Star Trek.
That show is hilarious.
Caillou something, I think. I don't know.
What is it?
Is it
the Kobe
or Caillou?
Kobayashi?
Kobayashi, that's it.
The Kobayashi Maru?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh.
That Roy Rock the Blues got it. There you go.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That my brother was a big fan. I never really even watched the show.
Oh man.
I was a big Perry Mason fan.
No, I wouldn't.
And Canon. I've talked about it on my show, folks. But for all the people who are watching, if you get the opportunity on me,
hilarious, man.
It's unbelievable.
400-pound guy trying to chase a guy down the street.
He has a gun range in his living room in an apartment in Los Angeles. It's hilarious. The show is so far-fetched.
Well, I mean, what about Barnaby Jones, man?
Well, that was the same. It was the same producer, Quinn Martin.
Yeah, all those cops.
Yeah, Streets of San Francisco, Cannon.
Yeah. Remember Mannix?
I loved Mannix.
Yeah, Mannix.
The first season of Mannix was the best when it had when Joan Campanella played the boss.
Okay.
Then later, Mannix moved and became a private eye separately because Lucille Ball didn't want him to have she thought it was too Big Brother. And she didn't like the first season of Mannix. She ruined the show.
Oh,
Why? Why? You ever see Billy West do his Lucille Ball impersonation? Why? Why? Oh, I love Billy West.
Yeah.
He does a great Larry Fine impersonation. I'm warning you.
Okay.
For those who watch my show, know I quote Howard Stern show a lot. Billy West used to be on the Stern show doing impersonations. He's extreme. And now he's on Futurama. You ever watch Futurama?
No, I don't. I'm trying to think of who the hell Billy West is. Where would I have seen him?
Ren and Stimpy.
I never watched that.
He was the voices of all those shows.
Oh, okay.
He's a voice guy.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
does like all the new Elmer Fudd stuff and the Bugs Bunny. He's great. He's great with the voices.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't do Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley though. That's Craig Gass.
Yes, yeah.
He's great.
Which song did the Monkees refuse to do for Kirshner?
So let me think. This is when they reached their breaking point.
Yeah.
They were reaching their breaking point and they wanted to do the songs themselves, and it got to, oh boy. Was it a Neil? It has to be. Was it a Neil Diamond song? Oh no, I know what it was. It was Sugar Sugar by the Archies. And they had to make a fake band up because nobody would record the song. So they made a fictitious band called the Archies.
Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Well, let's see. That's Rich Acello. Welcome, Rich. Hey, Broxel, how are you? I'll see if Rich Acello will come back on and bingo. You got it.
All
Dave.
right. All right.
Bingo. Okay.
I'm 1 for 1.
Yeah. Okay. I think yeah, we're hitting an hour and a half here. So I'm good, Broxel. How are you, buddy? B.A. Mozzie, how's it going?
How many people are still on?
52, man.
We didn't even get to cigars.
Yeah, you know what? We got to do this again, buddy.
Sounds good.
We got to do this again. So definitely I'll have Dave back on at some point, and we will continue this conversation because I got a feeling this would go on forever.
Yeah, for sure.
So any parting words, Dave? Anything you wanted to mention to the folks in the chat? You got stuff you got upcoming?
Yeah, I will be having on my podcast where I have with John, I'm going to be having the new GM of G&L on. He's going to be coming on the show. I have a couple of session guitar players in LA who have agreed to come on, who are working guys. And I'm also going to have Del Casher on, the guy who invented the wah pedal.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, Del's a good buddy and a funny guy. Great guitar collection he has. He has a 61 Strat that has a maple fingerboard and a switch on it that can activate the neck pickup that Leo made custom for him in 1961.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got quite a collection. And other than that, you know, if there's songs that people want me to do on the show, and whether it teach it or I don't really get involved in the minutia of teaching a song so much. Like, you got to kind of have an idea, but just email me on the Dave44Levine@outlook.com, and that's fine if there's a song you want me to do. And other than that, I enjoy watching people's channels. I'll try to, when people sub me, try to get back to their channel. Just throw me a message so I know to sub your channel back. I'm not as savvy as on the computer or as on this and YouTube as I might seem. It's all smoke and mirrors. No, just kidding. No, but you know what I mean? I just don't like this is the first time I've used Hangouts, so I have no idea how this even works.
Well, you did all right.
Yeah. But I mean, I clicked the link and I'm on. And it's like, I have no idea. Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You did all right.
Right. There's smoke coming out of my computer right now, but I have no idea what that's all about.
You'll be fine.
Right. Did you ever see? Oh, I feel like there's an episode of the Twilight Zone where Wally Cox, who was the voice of Underdog, in the computer was in love with him, and he's like, Agnes, you know, I don't know if you're. If you know the Twilight Zone, watch it. Never mind.
Yeah, sorry, man.
It's a funny bit. But anyway, so not much else going on my channel. I just make videos to try to have, like, I do it for my own enjoyment. And then, like, a lot of times, if you watch some of the rants, folks, I'm like really into like movies, trivia, pop culture. It's all fun stuff. I'm really into music. So if there's like something in, whether it's like Earth, Wind and Fire, R&B stuff, anything by the Jacksons that you wanted to hear, or I'm familiar with a lot of music. That's kind of like my forte, is to be able to go in and play anything. It's kind of like what I worked hard at, and
yeah, I
try to do it. We're all trying.
Yeah. Well, I say we're all hacks trying to get better.
Yeah, well, that's how everybody feels. I mean,
yeah.
And I don't mean just everybody. I mean the players, the real guys who are out there doing it. I mean, like I said, I got to work with guys like Vinny. Like I talked about Vinny Colaiuta playing on that Gino Vanelli album, and Vinny plays on Joe's Garage. But I was very friendly with Vinny, and I worked with Vinny. And Vinny's a monster. And it's like, if no matter how good you think you are, when you go play with Vinny, you're like, yeah, I need to work. Yeah. I need to do a little bit of homework. This guy, just real quickly, I work with Vinny Colaiuta. We go into a session. I hand him my charts. Vinny does this. Throws them on the floor. And I'm like thinking, shit, is he mad at me about that or something?
Yeah.
So now he's playing and he's not even looking at the guys, and he's playing, but he's playing perfect. And then he stops and he says to the bass player, hey, listen, you're playing doubles in the hook. I don't think my sheet had doubles. I don't even know where the hell I did my sheet. And the bass player's like, oh, my bad. No, you're right. This guy's looking at the sheet, not playing it right. Vinny's already memorized the whole chart.
Oh,
yeah, it was literally scary stuff. But, you know, just like I said, when you think you're good, you know, it's like you just,
yeah.
The trick about anything, guys, and the trick in life, the trick in guitar, surround yourself with people that you know are better than you.
Yeah.
Because it's always easier to be the guy who has to work hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I always felt about it. So I would I would hire guys in sessions. I'd be like, I want that guy. I'm going to hire that guy. And then I would get called in sessions and I'm like, oh man, I'm way behind these guys. But I'd be like, you know, if it comes to working hard, I'll do it. That I can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't sit there and tell you that I can play the perfect altered scale when it needs to come in on a sharp 5, but I can fake it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You're bringing up a whole whack of things that we didn't even really touch on, like the studio stuff. There's a whole, we could do like a part 2, part 3.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do. I'm good.
No,
you're a good guy, man.
This was good, man. This was a lot of fun. So I'd like to thank everybody for popping in. This was a lot of fun. It was great having Dave on. For myself, what have I got going on? Thursday, I got a show Thursday, a solo show. If you want to check that out, 7 o'clock Thursday. I'll be on. And next week on Monday, not my regular Tuesday, but on Monday at 9 p.m., I will have Eric from EVH and Gear TV on. So check that out. That'll be very
Eric's the guy that you just said that.
Yeah, he's the guy that spent time with.
Went out to Gary.
Yeah. You should check out.
Where is he from?
Eric?
Yeah.
He's from Ontario. He's like 2 hours west of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he was out there. He hung out with Gary and Laurie.
Yeah. You go on his channel. He did like a 2-part documentary about it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I love Gary.
Gary. Yeah, he really, you know, you could tell he's a really good guy. So
great guy. Like I said, you know, big into cigars. Got that. He's a good guy.
Not either. Yeah.
In the words of Willy Wonka, I have too little to do and too much time. No, wait, reverse that.
Exactly. Okay, folks. Thanks everybody so much for popping in. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much, Dave. And hopefully,
thank you, Walter.
Yeah, no worries, brother. And hopefully, we will catch you all on Thursday. Dave, just hang on for a second. All right.
You got it.
Cheers, all.